Another method to get the user password or the administrator password, and it's by dumping the local user's account's password from the SAM database using the registry. And to dump the user's password hashes, you must have the administrator privileges. And we saw how to do that in a previous lecture. Okay, so we're going to be using a module called hashdump, and the hashdump module will dump all the password hashes of the user's accounts. But before we do that, we must migrate our backdoor with any system running process, then we will dump the user's hashes. And lastly, we're going to be using a tool called John the Reaper to crack the hash. And John the Reaper is a fast password cracker software tool that can be used to crack the hashes. Now let's see how to do that. Okay, so here I have one Meterpreter sessions open with the administrator privileges. So if I type sessions -i5 to interact with session number 5, and then I'm going to type get system to see my privileges, you will see that I am an admin in the memory, and if I type get UID, you will see that I'm an authority system. But if you type hashdump to get the password hashes, you will see that it's going to give you an error, so the parameter is incorrect, because you have to migrate your process with any running system process. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to list all the running processes by typing PS, as we did before. And here's all the running processes, as you can see here. And I'm going to migrate my process with any system process. Let's say, for example, I'm going to migrate it with Google Crash Handler here. So the PID of this process is 5556. And it's an authority system. So I'm going to say migrate, then I'm going to put the PID of Google Crash Handler, which is 5556, and I'm going to press enter. And now I'm going to migrate my process or my backdoor with the Google Crash Handler. And as you can see, it's successfully completed. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to type hashdump, and you'll see that we were able to get the password hashes. But before we do that, I'm going to change the password of my Windows machine. So I'm going to come back to my Windows machine, and then I'm going to settings, and I'm going to user accounts, and then user accounts, manage another account, and change the password. So my new password is gonna be test1234, test1234, and we have changes. So our new password is test1234. Okay, now let me come back to my Kali Linux and type hashdump again, because the hash has to be changed. And I'm gonna minimize the window a little bit. And I can only copy the IE user hash because it also has the administrator privileges, so you don't have to crack the administrator password because the IE user is also the administrator. So I'm going to copy the password or the hash of the password for the IE user. And now I'm going to open new terminal and create a new text file on my desktop. So let me say cd to change my directory to desktop. And now I'm in desktop, and I'm going to type nano. And I'm going to call the file that I'm going to create it hash, and then I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to pass the hash that I have copied here. Then I'm going to say Ctrl O to save it. Then I'm going to press enter and Ctrl X to exit. And as you can see, now we have a new txt file called hash. So in order to crack this hash, you should have a word list. So we can get this word list from the internet. You can download it from the internet, or you can create a manual one. And the password of the user has to be into this password list. So if it wasn't in the word list, so you'll not be able to crack the password. And also you can take a word list. You can copy a word list from that comes with John the Reaper tool. So if you go, let me type cd to come back my root directory. I'm gonna say cd user share John, which is the full path of John the Reaper tool. And now I'm going to say ls, and you will see here that John the Reaper comes already with a password list. So I'm going to take this password list. So I'm going to say copy password lst to my root desktop, and I'm gonna press enter, and as you can see, here is the new password list. Let me open it and see whether my password is into this wordless list. So test1234, it's not in here. So I'm gonna add my password manually, which is test1234. Let me add it here. Here is it. It's test1234. I'm gonna say Ctrl S to save it, and I'm gonna exit. And now we're gonna be using join the repo. Let me say cd to come by to my root directory. So first command is gonna be John, and I'm gonna add word list. I'm gonna type word list equal. Then I'm gonna put the full path of the word list, which is on my desktop, and it's called password.lst. And I'm gonna say minus format equal nt, which is the in triple format that uses to store the passwords and the integrity as a plain text. And now I'm gonna put the full path of the hash, which is on my desktop. So I'm gonna say root desktop and hash, and then now let me repeat the command. Join is the name of the tool, then minus word list equal, then you are gonna put the full path of the password list, and minus format nt, which is the in triple format that used to storing and transmitting the passwords as a plain text. And lastly, you are gonna put the full path of the hash. Now I'm gonna say enter, and as you can see, the username, the IE user has the password test1234. So if you repeat this command, you will see that right now this password is not gonna be showing anymore because it's saved into your Kali Linux into a file called shadow passwords. But to list this or to see this password again, you can put John, then the format nt, and now we are gonna put the full path of your hash without using the word list because it's already cracked and stored into your shadow passwords. So hash, and for some reason it didn't show me, or yeah, I missed the command, which is minus show. So as you can see, the IE user test1234, here the password, and here the hash of the password. So yeah, I'm gonna say clear, and I'm gonna come back to my Windows machine. I'm gonna test the password, which is test1234. So I'm gonna say sign out. And now I'm gonna enter the password, which is test1234, and as you can see here, test1234, and now I'm gonna say enter. And as you can see, we were able to crack the administrator password, which is the IE user password. And this is by migrating our process with any system process, then using the command hash dump to get the password hashes, and then from the password hashes we can crack this hash using join the repo tool that comes already with Kali Linux.